Alright guys, so we are back for another Should You Guys Summon. So this time around we are going to be taking a look at the super limited Sazabi, the life-size new Gundam statue version. So this one is actually pretty good unit overall, I feel like, and then a lot of people are definitely going to be wondering, we have this new Gundam or this Sazabi, which is a generic unit, and then we have a Dag Dog that is another generic. So up the two, which is preferably the one to summon for. I think there's definitely no debate which one to summon for. I think that dog does not. It pales in comparison to new or to Sazabi in a sense, because Sazabi kit is just is built for longevity in a way. When we do take a look at the Transcendent scale, which is definitely something that I know a lot of people may not be able to afford it at the moment, but as time goes on, for example, you can definitely slowly, gradually upgrade the Transcendent skill and whatnot. And at that point in time, I personally feel like Sazabi is just going to be a lot more better than that dog. Things like, the jamming probably is a pretty cool feature that people might want from the Dag Dog, but unfortunately, having an RNG base to deal for the enemy to deal 1 damage to you is not really worth it. And that dog is just not going to be something that you will use in the far-fetched future until the purple perfectibility entity drops. So that's probably going to be another year, maybe another year and a half away. So you have time. I guarantee you, within those time frame, for example, you should be able to pull it within your standard. For example, I mean, it's definitely possible. All right, so we'll just kind of keep it at that. So what makes Sazabi a decent unit, or just a relatively better unit to pull for, as if you guys are free to play? I would definitely say the overall kit is pretty much what you would want, especially when you do not consider the Transcendent skill, which require you to use rainbow coins. So let's kind of start from top to bottom. Let's see what is going on. We have the funnel at EX skill level 5 to one target enemy, 693 attack damage. So that's pretty much standard stuff right there. But you also do get another 390% attack bypassing defense, so that's pretty good. So you pretty much tack those two together. It's pretty nice. Definitely this portion is not going to be is a main and damage dealer, so just kind of keep that in mind. And also to self is also going to be increasing beam damage as well. So keep that in mind. All of these are at EX skill level 5. So when you are starting out, a lot of these percentages are going to be a little bit lower, obviously, but it's still pretty nice. So moving to the skill 1, when battle begins for 18 seconds, we have a guaranteed bullseye status. So what this means for the first 18 seconds, this unit is just gonna have you can just aim it. Whatever this unit aims at is gonna for sure get that attack going on. So that is actually pretty good. But within those 18 seconds, from how this kit kind of function with this how it interacts with the weaponry, yeah, there's actually a problem with that, which we'll kind of talk about in a bit. But having an 18-second guarantee hit is actually pretty ridiculous. So unless your units start out with a absolute evasion, then they obviously do cancel out each other. But normally speaking, yeah, this unit is going to get your unit no matter what it may get target. And then on daily damage for 20 seconds, increase beam damage by 4.2%, stacking that up to 10 times. So realistically speaking, your best shot you can get up to 42% at max, so that's pretty good. But skill 2, it gets even crazier. It gives you that self HP restoration, so that's actually pretty nice. And that's something that you will want to say if you are free to play. Things to look for, you want to self sustain. Like this unit has that, same as Dag Dog, but I think this one is better because you do have that guarantee hits, which just makes it more utility wise. It is actually much more better than just the RNG base of actually reducing your enemy at damage to 1. So we have that. But the thing I was talking about with the weapon loadout, or how it is configured, we have the main weapon, which is the funnel. So how this actually works is this is just gonna be doing like a beam spam, like a long range beam spam. And after that, it's gonna go into the third weapon, which is the funnel, being the saber. So that is actually a problem because from this description, this is a far range. So this unit is gonna, right when the start of the battle, is gonna be probably gonna be at the standstill at a very far distance. You launch that attack, that beam attack, and you have to rush in with the funnel beam saber. So that is actually a problem because this does have a chance of not actually reaching the target. So after that, it goes back into this, and then it goes back into the third weapon. So even though you are getting that guaranteed hit, but within that 18 seconds window, you're actually, there are a high chance you're actually just not connecting, even though you have that guaranteed hit. So it is actually unfortunate how the, I guess, the attack order is. Like, ideally speaking, if you would have went from 1 2 3, then that would be great. Or you would completely skip the funnel and just go 1 2 1 2. That would have been a lot more better, but you don't. This normally, from what I saw, you go from 1 3, then 1, maybe back to 2, and then so on and so forth. So not really the best in terms of the attacking order. So when you guys are seeing like the damage report, for example, the main weapon actually being is the one that deals the most amount of damage, while the additional being in range, and then the funnel, they don't do a lot. So kind of unfortunate. So the 18 seconds guarantee hit is kind of like, take issue. Well, it is kind of there, but at the same time, it may not be there. So we have that. But overall, it's still a fairly great kit to have. Yeah. Oh, Transcendent skill. Let's talk about that. At the beginning of the battle, so most of them has that increase HP by 25%. So that's pretty good. I think this is to counter the fact that this does Russian with the saber, so you are kind of prone to taking attack as you are closing into the target. So kind of like a extra safety net, if you will. Increase beam damage by 36%, and then restore EX skill engaged by 50%. So pretty much standard stuff. And you have another one of those skill 2 effects. So now you are essentially up to, with these two combined, you can actually get up to a 84% damage increase. So that's pretty good within those 20 seconds window if you can land on those hits. So not bad actually. And the most important part I feel like that this unit has is that you are getting the max damage increase by 200,000. So this is kind of like a future-proof kind of a way to make this unit a lot more better, because funny enough, the Sazabi, this version of the Sazabi, is one of the most recent recipient of the Transcendent skill. For JP on initial release, it did not have that. So Global definitely lucked out on that, because we had the opportunity to actually use a unit that has a relatively newer Transcendent skill that was designed for this unit. So that's why they had this in mind. So that's why this unit is actually a lot more better than what it would have been if it would have had the Transcendent skill on initial release. So we have that. So that's why this is definitely a unit to look out for and summon for, because of that feature right there. Not really feature, but of a late Transcendent skill implementation, if you will. And then lastly, we have a Char Aznable. What a guy! This man actually dodged all my summon, 20 multi summon in total. We love him, but essentially Char is pretty simple. We are able to deal up to 150 or no 300% damage to both range sense and melee sense when you are meeting the yellow category or the typing, and the generic and then rifle unit, and then a red mobile suit. So there's actually not much to talk about. This is actually just a really good simple palette to go for, because let's say you're not really satisfying the skill 2, at least skill 1 is still usable. Yellow and generic, that is able to fit into a lot of brackets, if you will. So this is definitely a fairly good palette to have for just in your box if you ever need it. So I think that's pretty much it. Definitely do go for both if you guys can, but I think Char is definitely another great candidate, especially for the yellow element team. So with that being said, that is going to be pretty much it in terms of the review for Sazabi right here, and hope to catch you guys on the next one.